All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Kiss. I'm really excited to be here today, and I am going to tell you about the Carpentries, which is a nonprofit educational organization that focuses on teaching foundational coding and data science skills to researchers globally. And we're going to talk about how they do that. First, I thought it might help to know my background and why I'm talking to you about the Carpentries today. I am a lecturer at the University of Oklahoma in their meteorology and math departments, and I'm always looking for new things to teach. So basically, if I can get my hands on something to teach, I will teach it. I went to a few Carpentries workshops on Python programming and version control, and I was really hooked. So this past summer, I went through their certification process and became one of their instructors. So first, I'm gonna tell you about kind of the Carpentries' overarching vision. They want to be the leading inclusive community teaching data and coding skills specifically to researchers. So their target audience typically consists of undergraduate research students, graduate students, faculty, research scientists. They are aiming to help researchers be as efficient and open with their research as possible and to make their work as reproducible as possible. There are a lot of activities that the Carpentries use to accomplish their goals. The major activity is holding workshops worldwide. These workshops are either in person or virtual. And we'll go through the different offerings for those workshops in a minute or two. They also train instructors in the Carpentries pedagogy so that everyone is ready to go with teaching these workshops. And many of the instructors also serve as lesson developers or they maintain existing lessons. And the Carpentries does regularly offer professional development skill-up sessions so that their instructors can stay in the know. Instructors can also collaborate with each other on new lessons, meet up to discuss topics that are of interest in this community. And the Carpentries does hold a bi-yearly global international conference called CarpentryCon, and they also have smaller regional conferences yearly called Carpentry Connects. So the Carpentries is plural because they are made up of 3 separate lesson programs. They started off with software carpentry in 1998. It started with a single workshop held at a research lab, and it was meant to teach foundational computing skills to researchers. In 2014, data carpentry and library carpentry also joined together with software carpentry and formed the Carpentries. Data carpentry is focused on helping researchers work with data through its entire life cycle, and library carpentry seeks to help librarians and those in information-related roles work with data and software. Software carpentry has a few core lessons, and a software carpentry workshop does have to choose 3 of these. So every software carpentry workshop will teach a lesson on the Unix shell as well as version control with Git, and then the instructor can choose to teach Python or R. And there are a few additional lessons in development for specific tasks. Library carpentry, a workshop will typically teach 3 of the core lessons, and they have quite a few additional lessons depending on what the librarians most need to learn in their roles. And then data carpentry works from domain-specific curricula. So they have curricula tailored to the types of data and the types of software that would be used in fields like astronomy, ecology, social sciences, and economics. And any of these workshops, they are typically held over about 2 to 4 days, depending on the organization's goals and their time constraints. And typically the audience will be graduate students and faculty and researchers. They are typically held at universities as well as research organizations. This is what an in-person workshop would look like. There would be, I did not make this picture, this is from the Carpentries. So there would be an instructor live coding from their device. I like this as well, so I'm glad you're getting a kick out of it. So typically instructors will co-teach, so there will be an instructor live coding from their device. They don't show slides, they don't teach from a PowerPoint like I'm doing right now. They will live code, and the learners in the audience will code along on their own devices. There will be a co-instructor who's ready to swap with the main instructor and keep everyone fresh during the day. Learners are encouraged to put sticky notes on their devices, either sticky notes of different colors or different shapes, to indicate, yes, this is working for me right now, things are going great, or I got an error, something is happening that I don't know how to handle. And those helpers in the background, they are looking at the sticky notes, and they will jump right in and help a learner out if they need help. And in 2022, they decided to make online workshops also an official part of the Carpentries. So this setup can be essentially repeated on Zoom with reactions taking the place of sticky notes. So I would say, if I had to summarize the pillars of a Carpentries workshop, they are constantly seeking to assess learners and instructors through feedback. So an instructor will give some sort of formative assessment about every 5 minutes of the workshop, whether that's an exercise, whether that's sticky notes, whether that's minute cards. They are constantly getting feedback from the learners so they can evaluate where they are and use that to guide how they approach the rest of the workshop. Learners will code along with the instructor on their own devices so they can constantly practice and apply what they're learning. A big pillar of the Carpentries is that every mistake that happens in a workshop is a learning opportunity, so instructors are encouraged to draw attention to any mistakes they make and ask the learners, hey, what do you think this error means? Why do you think I got this error? And make it a collaborative experience. Very open. We want all learners to feel like they belong and that they are welcome to ask their questions and help each other, collaborate with each other, and gain support from the helpers and the instructors. So I'm going to skip ahead. In the past decade, the Carpentries has held over 4,000 workshops worldwide, mainly centered in the United States and Europe, but with a good number of workshops in Australia, Africa, South America. There are over 4,400 of us instructors, and we're approaching 100,000 learners that have taken part in our workshops, over 65 countries. So thank you.